Good morning and happy opening day to everybody. Super pumped. We got baseball back and also a Padres Twins trade to quickly go over. So basically, if you look at the deal from the Padres side, they add Taylor Rogers. They give up Chris Paddack, Emilio Pagan. Taylor Rogers is going to be the Padres closer. I have really no doubt about that. Robert Suarez, the Nelson Lamet were in the mix to become that closer, but Taylor Rogers has the experience. He's pitched in the big leagues for a long time. He is going to be their closer. So he has a fastball slider combo. He's a career 3.15 ERA guy. He has a lot of closing experience. Fully expect him to be the closer. The Twins end up losing a pretty substantial bullpen piece in this one. But then you look at what they get in return. They get Emilio Pagan, who is a reliever that really, really struggled on the Padres the last couple of years. He's had around like a 4.5 ERA, and he allowed a ton of home runs. So Emilio Pagan got traded for the Twins a couple years back. His Padres tenure has been pretty rough. This spring training didn't really look like much was working for him. He is going to implement a new pitch this season. So for Twins fans, if you guys are wanting to feel a little bit optimistic, that's something to feel optimistic about. But I don't think Emilio Pagan's gonna provide you the same bullpen role that Taylor Rogers does. But then we go Chris Paddack, who's probably I would say probably the biggest piece in this deal, just because he's been a highly touted prospect, and he gets moved in this deal. Last couple years have been rough, but in 2019 when he was a rookie, he was really good. Got the nickname the Sheriff, and he's gonna be one of their starters. I just don't really know what's gonna happen to Chris Paddack. He's dealt with a UCL injury, which is really scary. So we don't really know what's going on with him in terms of injury wise. But he is in this deal, so you want to assume that he's healthy. But he's a guy. Last year, he finally started working on his curveball. Starts looking a little bit better. But the changeup was not good last year, and that was his go-to pitch in 2019, and that was his number one pitch. So for Chris Paddack, it's about, can his three-pitch mix really work? Can he keep his fastball velocity? Can his curveball, generate swings and misses, because it had in the past? And can his changeup generate soft contact? Because if he's able to do that, he's a guy that can eat up a lot of innings, and he might not be a sub-3, sub-4 ERA guy, but he can be a low-4 ERA guy, and he can eat up 150-plus innings if he is healthy and if those three pitches are working. So Twins get a pretty substantial amount in this deal, but I think for the Padres, it makes a ton of sense. A lot of question marks in the bullpen. You add a lefty. The Padres have like two lefties in their pen right now, so this is big time for them. And they didn't really know who was going to start. They didn't know who's going to close for them. So it seemed like it was going to be Robert Suarez. I'm assuming that Robert Suarez is that eighth inning guy, and now Taylor Rogers is going to get the call in the ninth. So big addition for the Padres. They had a ton of starting pitching depth. They move Chris Paddack. They move a bullpen piece in Emilio Pagan, who is probably going to be like a sixth inning guy for them. Love the move for the Padres. And also for the Twins, I do think you're getting a guy in Chris Paddack who a lot of Padre fans hate Chris Paddack. Our show doesn't hate Chris Paddack. We think that, he's kind of had a rough career. He's kind of had always something not working, something not clicking for him. If it all works, I think he can turn out to be a great piece, but he's definitely somewhat of a project, and he's not going to be, an ace caliber pitcher that we all once thought he could become. But overall, quick thoughts on this deal. Just wanted to get something out real quick. Pretty early for everyone on the West Coast. I'm over here on the East Coast, so a lot easier for me. But happy opening day. We're going to be going live today at 5:30 Pacific time. Super excited to do that. Going to go over our predictions, kind of our preview for the season. So super pumped about that. So make sure to join. But with that said, go Padres. Add a big piece in the bullpen right here with this move. So really pumped about it. And we'll be back at 5:30 discussing and previewing this 2022 Padres season. So super exciting. Also, one other thing to note for Padre fans, CJ Abrams seems like he's getting the call up to the big. So that is awesome as well. And we will also be discussing that in our live stream. We'll talk about this trade as well. We'll get Chase and Isaac on. But thank you guys for listening, and we'll talk to you very, very soon.